Why I was absent for a week, I went to jail. Oh, here we go. Styxhexenhammer live. Styxhexenhammer, time for him to speak up. Speak up, nigga.
Alright everyone, talk about weird times. You probably were wondering where I was for an entire week.
Did you watch the debate last night? That's was crazy. Andrew was talking about effing white boys, SMH. Yeah, the debate was good. Andrew Tate was like... Really, dude? Really? Like, okay, bro, we get it. You can have sex. Guess what? Anybody can have sex with money, okay? It's not that hard to do, okay? Yeah, the demise of the white race stuff is so stupid. It's not real, honestly. It's not real. We have Styxhexenhammer just beating women, okay? He's talking about white people going extinct. We have Styxhexenhammer out here just destroying women, just fists, beating them to death. I don't think we have to worry about that, all right? Yeah, it's a really very brown thing, honestly. It's like, dude, I don't really care what your opinion is, honestly. It was so much talking, so much yapping. I was like, you know, I think we're here to hear what Nick and Aiden are talking about, not what, but whatever. It's, you know, it was good. It was very enjoyable. I like the debate. The debate itself was very fun. I like the content of Aiden and Nick a lot, and very, very fun. Yeah, I think maybe Tate drank a little in the morning or something. It wasn't horrible. It was just like a little too much. At a certain point, it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. We get it. It just reminded me of, I've had certain conversations with certain people where it just goes on and on and on. And it's like the same thing over and over again. And you're like, does this person have a concussion? Does this person have like, yeah, I get it, dude. I understand women are frustrating. But yeah, the whole like white women, the reality is this, okay? This is a sad reality for black people or brown people or Asian people, is that white women are the least likely to date outside of their race of any group. Like, that's real. And the reason for that is not because of any crazy status, of any crazy genetic thing. It's more status. It's like the highest status thing in the world is being a white male. Now, in terms of being punished, that's also one of the high, you know, the worst discriminated against is being a white male. But in terms of status, the highest status is being a white male. And as a result, every single race wants to be with a white male, whether it's black women, Asian women, Hispanic women, Indian women, Chinese women, Japanese women. Now there are some, but that's really what it is, all right? That's essentially what it is. White women are the least likely to, you know, every other group is more likely to try to have sex with white men than that. So I don't really care, honestly. It's just annoying. It's just like, dude, relax, okay? Relax, chill out. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. The white race. What are you talking about? The white race is not going extinct. Are you retarded?
Actually, I was in jail. Don't worry, I'm gonna have no problem with the charges. They're pretty spurious. But I do have some fun stories with regards to that. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the case.
This is an Aryan god and slays pussy for Wotan. For real, when white guys complain about not getting pussy, it makes you so mad. Like, try being Indian. Yeah, honestly, don't try being Indian, but it's easy, dude. Yeah, no, it is what it is, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. I think Tate was funny. Tate was very funny. It's not a bad thing, I guess, but it is obnoxious at a certain point. It's like, very cool, dude. Very, very cool. Like, you don't the reason you don't really get like the relationship stuff is you don't have a model. Like, he doesn't have a model of a successful relationship of like parents, which is not a, you know, a lot of people have that problem. They've made lots of money out of it and they figured out how to like monetize it. So this isn't really an insult, but things are not as bad as he thinks. Honestly, things are not as bad as he thinks. Things are bad in certain ways, but it's more related to mechanics and it's more related to just, you know, technology and that sort of thing, and it'll balance out. All right, it's not a we're not on some apocalypse type timing. All right, things will happen. Things will balance out, and that's how it works. He's trying to pimp his white audience. Yeah, it's just that thing. It's like the it's like the no father figure type thing where it's like over the top and nasty. It's like, that doesn't really actually motivate me. I actually don't really care for that. I don't need to be yelled at. I'm not going to be yelled at. You know, you're going to speak with respect or not speak at all at a certain level. That was a debate. It's different. But if you're I just like, yeah, no, it's just not. It's not good in my opinion. You know, I enjoy Andrew Tate. I think he's funny. I like him more often than I'm annoyed by him, but it was kind of annoying, honestly, last night. But that's fine. It's all right to have certain things be annoying. The debate itself was very, very good. I just wish we could have had more interaction with Aiden and Nick. I feel like that's funny. It's always funny because Aiden is very funny, and also Nick interacting with Aiden is very funny. I feel like I'm kind of annoyed that there was less conversation with Aiden and Nick than there was with Andrew Tate talking.
For legal reasons. And
Aiden Ross is the greatest Jew to ever live. True.
That Jeremy, the quartering, was the one that posted my bond. So big shout.
Paul Darren just blocked me for saying America should be run by Jews. Is he cooked? Yeah, he's seething. He's seething. I posted on my Twitter. I realized because this is like the mark of a low IQ, like idiot. Here. Paultown Motorsports.
$5 Paultown Motorsports.
Tucked right in behind these two as they go over the
Dude,
jump.
that's so cool.
Max Gordon is not out of this yet.
Max Gordon.
The 55 truck sitting in the catbird seat right now. This is exactly where he wanted to be, coming down this back straightaway. Stout's going to have to fight him. He gets out there a little bit early. Here comes Max. Max looking to make it 3 wide here on this last
This is
lap.
cool. I like truck
Stout
racing like
hard on
this.
The binders as late as he can possibly go. The 55 truck still there. Stout
That's fun. That's a fun like matchup.
Here comes Gavin back on the outside. Final lap. Here comes Max. Max trying to put Stout out. Max
With the bumping and stuff. That's fun. It's a nice mix of like trashy but also like skill too. It reminds me almost of like the racetrack equivalent of like
Here on this final lap, they know
dirt biking
last opportunity.
or motocross.
Goes from third to the lead.
Unbelievable move there by Max Gordon as those two guys were battling. He was able to take advantage of it. He's just got to keep his nose clean here for a couple more turns, and Max is going to grab his second career win.
Thank you. That was awesome. I like that. I think I've seen like pictures of that sort of sport, but I don't think I've seen actual footage of that. That's fun. But yeah, this is when Heidegger is seething, he does this. Whatever he's like seething about, Cambridge Companion too, and then whatever he's thinking, he's trying to show is stupid. It's like a funny joke. It's like the Cambridge Companion to Aiden Ross, the Cambridge Companion to Sneeko, the Cambridge Companion to Bill Mitchell, the Cambridge Companion to John Fetterman. And so sometimes you got to double dip. This right here is a double dip because it's just so funny. You'd have to slightly modify it. You know, he tweeted out Cambridge Companion to John Fetterman, you know, October, and then November he wanted to do it again, but then they said, oops, you already tweeted that, try again. And so he added the Cambridge Companion to Heidegger, yeah. It's so awesome. So awesome. He's still seething about like streamers having influence and being funny. He's just mad. He's just seething that Nick is popular and Nick made fun of him. And now his mentions are just trashed. So funny, dude. The Cambridge Companion. Does it actually give you a warning if you try to post a duplicate? Yeah. I have some footage saved for another Paultown clip, PT edition. I hope he gets to see it even if I am blocked. I don't get it. I must be a stupid guy. 14-day freakout is not classy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you come from like Eastern Europe and you're like a fish salesman, sell fish.
Anonymous sent $5.
You don't really handle the spotlight too
like
well.
He has a sad life. You just said, wow, gain some weight. Stop preaching and hit that treadmill, woman. Not looking to wife up a thick woman. So you want to wipe me up, but you think I'm getting fat?
He's doing the Beardson laugh. The Beardson not bothered laugh.
I can't disagree, but also I don't really care. If you think I've
He did the
thick for you,
female Ben Shapiro did the Beardson laugh here.
I have a ballet dancer's body. I have no curves. If you think I am too thick for you, it's gonna get memed to hell. If my body type does not fit your ideal standards, I apologize. I'm not trying to meet your ideal standards. I don't live my life to please other people. I'm just doing whatever I want to do. I also am not going to get triggered by that, though, because, again, like I said before,
She looks like Ben Shapiro, too.
if
Yeah, I
you
know,
put
dude.
yourself out in public.
All right. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. These guys think they're running a smart game by poisoning the well with this flat earth crap. Dude, the thing is, what people don't understand, Darren doesn't understand, most people don't understand, you really have to kind of like break your brain to understand a lot of the times, most people have to, or get old, is life goes on. And we are literally part of something, but the something that's happening is happening whether or not we do something. And, you know, it's like a chemical equation. It's like physics. It's like a mathematical dialect. And you're not going to stop things from happening that are going to happen. You might delay it a day or speed it up a day. But we're on these train tracks. We're on these train tracks, and these train tracks are going towards a certain thing, a certain building. Auschwitz, ever heard of it? No, but the train tracks we're on train tracks. And we're in the car. And the train is going to somewhere, and it's going to go there. Faster or slower, it's still getting there, okay? So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if people talk about flat earth. It doesn't really matter if, you know, whoever dies or whoever succeeds. It only matters on an individual level. It matters for you, right? It matters for me. Like, I'd much rather me be successful than not. I'd much, you know, it's better if we get things done faster for our own benefit. But it's going to happen anyway, so I wouldn't freak out about it. Fall Town doing Calvinism again. Yeah. BD is hot. I'm sorry, bros. You think Darren BD's hot. Dr. Darren. That's Dr. Darren to you. Doctor, I stubbed my foot. Oh, well, do you want to talk about Heidegger? With 1G? That's Dr. Darren to you. That's Dr. Darren to you. So awesome. All right, let's go back to Styxhexenhammer, a real intellectual. It sounds like his last spirit box, his last sacrifice to what's the owl god? What's the Stolos? Yeah, his last sacrifice to Stolos went south.
Shout out to him. I owe him a number of posted my bond. Actually, it turns out that Jeremy, the quartering,
I would post his bond, honestly, if I knew it. I would bail him out just for swag style. Just bond him out.
Was the one that posted my bond. So
was it bond or bail? They posted bond or bail.
Shout out to him. I owe him a number of free live streams as a result of this. I just wanted to tell a little bit about the experience, though. You know, you get dragged off by the police, you get booked and all this bullshit. And
it's all some bullshit, man.
Go to jail, not prison.
It's all some bullshit,
jail.
Man.
Temporary holding while they, you know, figure out sort of what's going on.
White man is back.
Do a court date and, you know, give your testimony and stuff like that, and then they figure it out later. Here's my experience. Overall, there were some very unpleasant things about it, but then there were things about it that were surprisingly, like, easygoing. For instance, one of the first things that I saw when I arrived in the jail,
black people. First thing I saw was black people
snorting cocaine. He had a little white packet, and he was like chopping it up with his fingers, and then he had like a little straw, and he was snorting it. I'm like,
W?
How did you get it in here? Then I realized, oh shit, they don't really have any drug checking in here. It was an older dude too. It was like a dude in his 60s, and I thought that was surreal. I'm like, that's the first time, by the way, that I've even seen cocaine, and it happens to be in a fucking jail holding cell. Prior to, you know, getting your orange jumpsuit and shit.
That's
like
crazy.
That was strange. Then at another point, let me talk about one unpleasant experience first. In well, they're not really cells, but like little glassed off rooms that, you know, you get locked into at night. You know, you're sleeping like 12 people to a room, in a room that's way, way smaller than my bedroom at Justana. And unfortunately, they have a shortage of blankets there. And so I slept on a bare floor for a week, like with no covering at all. I was lucky if I could get a little towel to use, fold it up and use as a pillow just for my head.
W?
To keep that from hurting. I've got bruises on my arms and on my legs as a result of this. It was almost unbearable, that part, because I tend to be an insomniac anyway. So that wasn't necessarily the most pleasant thing in the world. But at the same time, there was one hilarious incident, like on the fourth night or something. We had one person in the room, and I believe he was Hispanic, he went out, and he brought back some, I guess, friends of his, They weren't even sleeping in the room. And they started smoking weed in the room. Again, I was like, when I looked over and I saw what they were doing, I could smell it, and I look over and I see him smoking and with his friends and in the little like sectioned off like quasi bathroom thing. I'm like, holy hell, what the fuck are you doing? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why are you doing that in here?
W?
And they just kind of ignored me. Apparently this is normal sometimes. Then the guard outside smelled smoke, and so they, they went into the room, and the three of us that were in there at the time, of course,
Holy heck.
get searched and everything like that. And of course, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I was the only one that was cleared to actually come back in the room right away. They never came back, so I'm assuming that they
were killed.
They got charged with some additional crime or something. I don't know if pot is legal in Louisiana. Not 100% sure. I'm still here in the New Orleans area, actually, as we speak. So it was a very interesting experience, but one thing that I noticed above all is that the actual, the people that are charged with crimes, they're the chill ones. It's the people that are running the jail that are unchill.
The inmates are running the asylum.
Some of them. Also, the thing that Manson said back in an interview in the 70s about the sound of prison being like loud shouting and stuff like that, that's actually true. Everyone was shouting. If you expect a good night's sleep, it's going to be a long night for you. Now, again, I expect to beat these charges specifically. I don't think there'll be a problem with that, so no worries there. But that's why I was absent for a week. Yeah, I was in a jail in New Orleans, actually, and it was a very strange experience. I wouldn't say a pleasant one. Definitely an unpleasant experience for someone who likes freedom of movement as much as me. But honestly, on some levels, not quite as bad as I expected. Originally, I'm like, oh shit, I'm in jail. And then I was like, oh, well, the food fucking sucks. I didn't eat very much for that entire week, other than a few snacks. A few
little snacky poos.
Jailhouse, the soup and grits and stuff like that. Ugh. Mainly just I ate the vegetables and shit like that. I'm looking forward to a real meal now, actually. So I suggest you keep your nose clean. You don't want to have to eat that sort of stuff. And I saw people, they're like wolfing it down. I'm like, how can you even eat some of that food? Although I do admit that the mashed potatoes that they made actually were kind of on point. One thing I noticed is that they don't use much salt in their food, actually. So yeah, that's why I was absent for a week. I was actually in a jail here in New Orleans, and I shouldn't have had to go there in the first place, but it is what it is. It's all good. That's about all.
W. Honestly, W, dude. Honestly, comes off. It's so fun. Good for him. Ah, yes, New Orleans. Come on vacation, leave on probation. It's come on vacation, leave on probation, return on a violation. Dude, that's so funny. It's just so funny, dude. It's such a funny way to describe it, too. A very comfy way to describe it. Stay away from women and alcohol, gentlemen. They're not worth it, true. If you did get a mugshot, please put it on a t-shirt and mugs. The mugshot of when he battered a woman? Yikes. Yeah. It's called being swag, dude. It's called being alpha male. Getting arrested in New Orleans is almost a rite of passage. New Orleans. It was for domestic violence. It wasn't for drugs. Slapping your girl around is a rite of passage. Dude, why are Satanists so I'm not for it, but Satanists are always cringy about this stuff. They're always beating your wife? Beating your oh, you think that's cool? Hitting a woman? I thought you were a Satanist, dude. I thought you were swag Satanist with goated swag. Instead, you're just gay.